Tame Impala, aka Kevin Parker's creative brainchild, is about to release a new album, Deadbeat. This is going to be released in October 17th. And I look at Tame Impala as being one of the best artists in music cross genre. I have that much respect and admiration for Kevin Parker, aka Tame Impala. I remember when I used to think that this was like a band. Now there is crossover between Tame Impala and fellow Aussie band Pond. Like they kind of came up together, same musical scene. They would play in each other's bands, and you know, Nick Albrook, the frontman of Pond, used to be like the touring bassist for Tame Impala. But I used to think that it was actually like a 4 or 5 member band. And even when they would have, you know, different promotional runs for like Inner Speaker and Lonerism, those first couple of albums, you would see pictures of Tame Impala and it would be like multiple people. It wasn't until between Lonerism and Currents that it was more so revealed broadly that Tame Impala was basically Kevin Parker, and what Kevin Parker was doing with his studio genius and wizardry to create these different soundscapes and songs and so forth. But yeah, Tame Impala, it's kind of an interesting story musically. It's been quite of a journey, and it's been a little bit of a, maybe love-hate is a little bit tough, but I'll put it like this. I liked Inner Speaker in like 2010 when that came out. I liked it a lot. I loved Lonerism. That to this day is my favorite, by far favorite Tame Impala project. And then they started to, or he, I guess, started to genre switch from the more psychedelic rock to a psych pop, dance pop, electronic pop, but not like MGMT's oracular spectacular kind of electronic pop, and not MGMT's congratulations style of kind of avant-garde psych rock. This was more dance floor pop, at least with certain songs. I mean, the album was Currents. It was 2015. It had their biggest hit, The Less I Know, The Better. I love that one. I didn't like Cause I'm a Man like nearly as much. I like the album opener, Let It Happen. But I think that it was difficult for me to open myself up to this part of the journey where it became increasingly clear that Tame Impala was not going to go back to its Inner Speaker roots or to its Lonerism, just masterpiece, you know, concept album. It wasn't going to go back to that. And it took me years to accept that. And I think I finally accepted that. But I'll tell you, I didn't like Currents as much as those first two. I didn't like The Slow Rush as much as those first two. I like, you know, certain songs. I like Borderline. I like Breathe Deeper from The Slow Rush. But like, I could go back and play Lonerism like any day, even though it's an album that I look at as being so good. One of the best albums of 2012. So good that I only break it out in certain moments when I'm in certain moods. Like if I've got like an hour to myself and no distractions and I'm going to be doing something and I just want to kind of relive that journey, that musical journey, then I'll play Lonerism. I treat it like I treat Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. And I loved Tame Impala circa 2010 to 2012 for much of the same reason that I like Pink Floyd, you know, from the Atom Heart Mother / metal, I think I've got metal back there, era up to Dark Side of the Moon. I mean, I like a lot of their stuff after, but there was something to those echoes like soundscape journeys that they would take you through. And I just kind of missed that. Like from Lonerism, Apocalypse Dream, like that's one of my favorite songs on there. I obviously like It Feels Like We're Going Backwards. I love that song. I love the opener, the gotta be above it, gotta be above it, gotta be above it. Then you get hit with these splashes of synth. Dun, and then I can't get enough of that version of Tame Impala. Why Won't They Talk to Me? Elephant, the dun 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 dun, kind of that riveting, pulsating beat, that rock guitar driven dun 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 dun. I just love that stuff. And I love all of the in-between album deeper cuts as well. Mind Mischief. I'm telling you, that album, Lonerism, for me, can't miss. So it has been a little bit of a, every time they drop something, I'm kind of like, I'm holding out hope that it's got some that has got some remnants of that lonerism sound. And again, Inner Speaker, I like that one too. That one's a lot more kind of crunchy, psych, garage rock. So there was an evolution between Inner Speaker and lonerism. And that's, I guess, the thing about Tame Impala, Kevin Parker, is you have to be willing to take the journey with them, regardless of what genres they start touching on. It's not going to be the same thing. And that's kind of a part of the greatness of Kevin Parker, is that, from a production standpoint, from a musical journey, from a how many different things can you put your hands on and turn it into something good? Like the influences are so expansive. I've decided to just be open to wherever Tame Impala leads us listeners next. And it should also be noted that he's had a lot of other successes. He's collaborated with like Mark Ronson. He's had songs, a song on like the Barbie soundtrack. So Kevin Parker, Tame Impala, is one of the most sought after producers, instrumentalists, musicians in the game right now. Again, cross genre. His reputation is about as good as it gets. So yeah, I can't wait to hear what they deliver with Deadbeat. I'm kind of holding out hope, but I'm not deluding myself anymore into thinking that we're gonna get Lonerism 2 or anything close to it. They have dropped a couple teasers, Loser and End of Summer. I like the riff a little bit in Loser. I like the song End of Summer overall more. I guess this is supposed to be, and this, I'm talking about the Deadbeat album, is supposed to be inspired by Western Australian rave culture and bush doof culture. I guess that's like, kind of outdoor festival in rural areas in the sticks, music festivals, that type of vibe. So I'm expecting a lot of danceable stuff, a lot of maybe even a little drum and bass. I don't know what to expect, but I'm open for it, or rather open to it. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on Tame Impala. By the way, if you haven't heard that other band Pond, listen to them, like Nick Albrook's band. There's also Gum, which is Tame Impala affiliated, and there's Cameron Avery. So there are a lot of spin-offs that, kind of came from that Tame Impala route. But yeah, Pond is one of the Tame Impala Day One associations, and they've got several pretty good albums. So yeah, give them a listen as well. But let me know if you are a Tame Impala fan. I saw that they are going to be touring, and I think that they are going to be playing at the Kia Forum when they come to LA. I'm probably going to try to get tickets to that, because I've actually never caught Tame Impala live. I skipped the Coachella where they performed after Lonerism, but before Currents, which I feel like that would have been a perfect time to catch him, because you would have gotten all Inner Speaker and Lonerism songs. And some of those, like, what is it, Half Glass Full, or they've got other non-album cuts as well. And again, nothing against Currents and The Slow Rush. It just wasn't those first two, and I was just so into those first two that I feel like as a listener, I just wanted more of that. But yeah, they've been making turns and twists, and again, you just have to be willing to take that ride. Let me know your thoughts on Tame Impala, Kevin Parker. Let me know what your favorite Tame Impala album is. Look, Currents is a lot of people's favorite Tame Impala album, and it did skyrocket their profile. Like, again, they had their biggest commercial success with that album. It took them from being a super top-notch indie band to pretty much a crossover household name in the music game. So that's what Currents did for them. And then Slow Rush was more, it had some good songs. It didn't have like radio bangers or anything like that. I'm not saying that they went like totally like pop or anything, but there's always a bit of experimentation, so I'm open to that. I just kind of found the Slow Rush to be Tame Impala's worst. And look, they set the bar super high, so worst doesn't mean it's a bad album, but compared to those other three, I didn't like the Slow Rush as much as the other three. There were certain songs that I did like from it, but just from beginning to end, I don't feel as inclined or compelled. If anything, I am more inclined to play the Slow Rush just to give it another chance, which is what I recently did over the last couple days with both Currents and the Slow Rush. And to be fair, they weren't as bad as I remember them being, especially Currents, but I still don't like them as much as Inner Speaker or Lonerism, but I'm just one fan. I'm sure there are a lot of people that prefer these latest 2 albums compared to their first 2. It depends on if you're more a psych rock, psych pop head, or if you like this kind of electronic pop, danceable, you know, just the different genres that Kevin Parker has been tapping into lately. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on your favorite Tame Impala album. Are you looking forward to this Deadbeat album? And give me your 3 to 5 favorite Tame Impala songs in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you love music like I do. I'm Woog. Thanks for tuning in.